Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something pretty significant coming out of China. The AI Plus Action Plan.
Yeah, this isn't just another tech policy update. It feels much bigger.
Right. The sources compare it directly to the Internet Plus wave from, 2015? That really changed the game back then.
Exactly. And the language they're using now from the State Council about this August 2025 plan, it's incredibly ambitious.
How so? What are they saying?
Well, they're talking about a revolutionary leap of productivity and deep changes in production relations.
So not just small improvements.
No, not at all. It's framed as redefining, how we work and live. The end goal seems to be this whole new intelligent economy and society.
Okay, that's a huge vision. Let's try to unpack the actual roadmap. The sources mention specific timelines, right? Almost like investor timelines.
That's right. There are three main steps laid out. First up is 2027.
2027. What needs to happen by then?
The focus is breakthrough and popularization.
Huh.
Basically, getting AI deeply integrated into 6 key areas.
6 areas. Which ones?
Let's see. Science, industry, consumption, livelihood, governance, and global cooperation.
Yeah.
And the big number here is the application rate for smart terminals and agents. They want that over 70%.
70%. In just a couple of years, that feels fast.
It is fast. But then look at 2030. That's the next mark.
And what's the target for 2030? Even higher.
Over 90% application rate. And crucially, the idea is that the intelligent economy itself, things like smart manufacturing, smart logistics, becomes a major source of growth for the entire national economy.
A major growth pole. Okay. So moving from a supporting role to actually driving GDP, that implies some pretty massive shifts in resources and systems, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That level of ambition underpins the whole plan. These intelligent sectors need to generate significant new value, and then the final stage they mentioned is 2035.
2035 being the finish line.
Sort of. It marks China fully entering this new stage, the intelligent economy and intelligent society. It's the culmination.
Okay, this transition, it sounds like more than just putting AI into existing businesses. You mentioned something about AI native.
Yes, that's a really key concept here, especially in the AI plus industry development part. It's a philosophical shift.
The shift from what to what?
From just optimizing what's already there, which is kind of what Internet Plus did for retail, for example, to building things that are intelligent native from the ground up.
Meaning the core design is AI.
Precisely. Think autonomous vehicles. The policy doesn't just see them as cars with added AI features.
Right.
It sees them as fundamentally AI systems on wheels. The whole business model, the supply chain, the infrastructure, it's all conceived around AI from the start. That's the native part.
Okay, that makes sense. So if you're, say, a foreign company or investor watching this massive shift, where do you fit in? How can you participate?
Well, the plan does outline some clear paths. There's encouragement to get involved in projects linked to these new quality productive forces, or NQPF.
Which are basically Beijing's designated high-tech growth engines.
Essentially, yes. High-tech, high efficiency. You can also leverage things like the National AI Application Trial Bases, the Zhangxi Jidai.
Ah, the trial bases, like incubators.
Exactly. They're designed to help test and commercialize AI applications faster and integrate into industry alliances.
Beyond just finding a project, what about making it easier to invest? Is there specific policy support mentioned, reducing the usual hurdles?
Yes, definitely. The policy talks about speeding up regulatory approvals, offering tax incentives, specifically targeting foreign know-how and capital.
Okay, standard incentives. Anything else?
There's something quite interesting, trial and error tolerance mechanisms.
Trial and error tolerance. What does that mean in practice?
It suggests that for really cutting-edge AI stuff where the path isn't clear, they're creating a bit of a regulatory safe space, allowing for some risk-taking, some innovation, without immediate penalties if things don't work out perfectly first time.
That sounds potentially very useful for R&D intensive work. But there's always a but, isn't there? With deep integration comes rules. What about compliance?
Compliance is absolutely central. It's non-negotiable.
What specifically?
Investors have to proactively deal with China's requirements on data security, algorithm reviews, ethical standards. It's not something you bolt on later.
So you need to build compliance into your AI models for the local market right from the design phase. Transparency, traceability, all that.
Exactly. It has to be baked in.
Looking at the bigger picture then, this AI Plus plan, It feels like more than just a domestic strategy. They mention global cooperation, rulemaking.
Yeah, the plan explicitly talks about strengthening international ties, helping developing nations, and playing an active role in setting global AI rules.
So what's the takeaway there?
Well, it suggests the real competition in AI's future might not just be about who has the best tech. It could be about whose system, whose standards, whose rules shape the global intelligent economy. China seems keen to export its vision.
Interesting, a competition of systems, not just algorithms. Okay, so for you, our listener, thinking about this huge strategic move towards an AI-native future in China, it really prompts a question.
Which specific areas of compliance and those local application standards are you putting at the top of your list as you plan your next move into this evolving intelligent economy?